Good morning, children. Welcome back to Class 3 English, Lesson-6. The name of the lesson is The Great Escape. Main characters of the story are Dorothy, a young girl who wishes to go back home, Cowardly Lion, who wishes to get courage, Tin Woodman wants a heart, Scarecrow wants a brain, and Beasts Kalidas. I will read the text now. The Great Escape. Dorothy, a young girl, gets carried away from her home by a cyclone. She reaches the magical land of the Oz, where she meets the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Woodman, and the Scarecrow. Dorothy wishes to go back home. The lion wants courage, the woodman wants a heart, and the scarecrow wants a brain. They decided to travel to the Emerald City to meet the great wizard of Oz and asked for help. Along the way, they meet strange new people and have many different adventures. Now, here we can see that Dorothy, a young girl, what will happen to her? She is getting carried away from her home by a cyclone. What do you think is a cyclone? A cyclone is a storm with strong winds, is called as a cyclone. And what happens? She reaches a magical land of Oz. And whom did she meet there? She meets a cowardly lion. Cowardly means they are not very brave and are afraid of doing anything in difficult situations. And whom she meets next? Woodman and a scarecrow. And what did they all do? They all started to move. Where did they go? They went to Emerald City. To meet whom? To meet the great wizard of Oz. Dorothy, the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Woodman, and the Scarecrow were walking through the forest when they saw a ditch before them. It was very wide and deep ditch with big pointed rocks at the bottom and steep sides. "What shall we do?" asked Dorothy sadly. "We must try and jump over it," said the Scarecrow. "I think I could jump over it," said the Lion, after looking at the ditch carefully. "Then you can carry us all over on your back, on one at a time," said the Crow. "I'm terribly afraid of falling myself," said the Lion. "But we must try. I will go first. If you cannot jump over the ditch and fall, it would not hurt me at all," said the Scarecrow. All the four, they started to move to Emerald City. And as they were going, what happened? They saw a ditch before them. What do you think is a ditch? A ditch is a long and narrow hole dug at the side of a field. And how was the ditch there? The ditch was very wide, it was very deep, and it had big pointed rocks inside that, and also the sides were very steep. Steep means it was rising sharply. Now Dorothy said, "What to do? What shall we all do now? How can we cross this one?" Till then, the lion told that, "I hope we can jump from this place and I can carry all of you and I can take you to the other side of the place." Now what happened? Now the scarecrow said that, "Okay, fine. You start jumping over and I will be the first person, because if we fall inside, what happens? As I am a scary crow, I can jump and I can fly." The scarecrow sat upon the lion's back. Then, with a great spring, the lion shot through the air and landed safely on the other side. They were all very pleased to see how easily he did it. One by one, the lion carried all of them and landed safely on the other side. After resting for a while, they started walking along the road. Soon they heard strange noises from deep inside the forest. Now, what happened? The scarecrow sat on the lion's back and the lion shot through the air. What do you think shot through the air means? It jumped and it went high up in the air at a great speed. So it and then what happened? It landed the scarecrow safely where it has to be landed. And one by one, the lion carried every other people, the girl Dorothy, and also the woodman, and the scarecrow, and the lion. All together, they jumped. And what happened? They started walking along in the road. And later, they heard some strange noises from deep inside the forest. The lion whispered, "That must be the Kalidas. They live in this part of the country." "What are Kalidas?" asked Dorothy. "They are frightening beasts with bodies like bears and heads like tigers," replied the lion, "with long and sharp claws. I'm very afraid of the Kalidas." They came to another ditch around the road, but this one was so broad and deep that the lion knew he could not jump over it. So they sat down to think what they could do. As they were all walking, they heard some strange noise from deep inside the forest. Now Dorothy is asking, "What about this noise?" Till then, the lion is telling that these are the noise of the Kalidas. So Dorothy is asking, "Who is this Kalidas and what are these Kalidas?" Now, the lion says that Kalidas are nothing but the animals which live in the forest. But how are they? They are beasts, and their bodies are like bears and the heads are like tigers. So it's a different type of animal and they have very long and sharp claws, and I'm very afraid of them. Now what happened? They came and reached another ditch which they couldn't cross at all. Now the lion knew that it was a very big ditch which couldn't be crossed by the lion. They all sat down and they all started to think that how to cross this broad and deep ditch. The scarecrow said, "This tree is very close to the ditch. If the Tin Woodman can chop it down, it will fall to the other side and we can walk over it easily." "That is a great idea," said the lion. "One would almost think you had brains instead of straw." The woodman set to work and chopped the tree. Then the lion put his front legs against the tree and pushed it. Slowly, the big tree tipped and fell with a crash across the ditch, with its top branches on the other side. They had just started to cross the bridge when a sharp growl made them look up. They saw two great beasts with their bodies like bears and heads like tigers running towards them. "The Kalidas," said the lion, beginning to shake with fear, "stand close behind me. I will fight them as long as I am alive." Now, as they were thinking how to cross the ditch, now the scarecrow said that there is a tree which is very close to the ditch, and we have a tin woodman with us who can chop the tree down. And when the tree falls, it will fall to the other side. So that what can we do? We can walk over the tree and we can cross. Now the lion said, "This is a very great idea you have given. Only those who have brains, they can think all these things." And now what happened? The woodman started to chop the tree. And the lion will put his front legs against the tree, means close to the tree or touching the tree. And what happens? The big tree tipped. Tipped means it bent and it fell across the ditch with the top branches. And now what happened? They heard a growl, sharp growl. Growl means to make a low or deep and angry sound in the throat. So they heard that growling noise, and what was there? There were two great beasts with bodies like bears and heads like tigers running towards them. Now the lion said that this is Kalidas. Now lion asked the rest of them to stand close behind him, and Lion said that I will fight with the beasts as long as I am alive. Till I am alive, I won't let anything happen to you all. I will save you. Faced the Kalidas and gave out a loud and terrible roar out of fright. Dorothy screamed and the scarecrow fell over backwards. The Kalidas stopped and looked at the lion in surprise. But seeing they were bigger than him, they rushed forward and began to cross the bridge. Hurry up, said the scarecrow. Let us cross over. The four of them crossed the bridge as quickly as they could. Once they reached the other side, the scarecrow asked the Tin Woodman to chop away the end of the tree that was on their side of the ditch. Quick! Cried the scarecrow. The woodman began to use his axe at once. The Kalidas had almost crossed the bridge when the tree fell with a crash into the ditch along with the beasts. Now, what happened? Now, as they heard the beasts, the lion turned to the face and the Kalidas and gave out a loud and terrible roar. Terrible means very unpleasantly it roared against the beasts. And out of fright means because it had fear also, because the beasts are bigger than the lion. The lion was also scared, but it didn't show out that it was scared. And what happened? Now Kalidas, they stopped and looked into the lion and they said that, oh, this is not bigger than us. So we will rush forward and we will catch them out. Till then, the scarecrow said, we will all cross the bridge. Hurry up and we will go fast. As quickly as possible, all of them crossed the bridge. And what happened? Now, the scarecrow asked the woodman to cut the wood with the axe at once so that as the beasts are coming to catch them, what will happen? Again, with the axe, they will cut the tree and the beast may fall inside. Now, the same thing happened. As the woodman cut the thing, the beast fell into the ditch. Well, said the lion, drawing a long breath of relief. Those creatures frighten me so badly that my heart is still beating. Ah, said the Tin Woodman sadly, I wish I had a heart to beat. The four travelers kept walking until they could see a yellow brick road and green meadows on the other side of a broad river. Soon they saw a delightful country before them. Read The Wizard of Oz to find out what happens next. Now, what happened? As the woodman cut the tree, the beast fell into the ditch. Now, the lion said that, wow, very nice, well. Drawing a long breath of relief means feeling very happy because something unpleasant has not happened or has ended. And it also told that those creatures are very bad and they all frightened. And what happened? The beat of the heartbeat of the lion is still beating. And now the Tin Woodman sadly said that I wish I had a heart to beat. Now Woodman is telling that I don't have a heart, otherwise it could also have been beaten like the heart of the lion. Now, what did they all do? The four travelers, they all kept on walking until they saw a yellow brick road and a green meadows on the other side of the broad river. Soon they all saw a delightful country before them where it was a destination where they wanted to reach. Now they were all very happy as they reached their destination. Hope you all have understood the story, children. The moral of the story. The moral is to go, get your heart's desire, but be prepared for obstacles. Plus, it helps to have good, reliable friends to support your quest. So, here the moral of the story is whatever you want, whatever your heart says, you have to do that. If you are very much desired that you have to do, then you have to be prepared for the obstacles. Whatever comes across, you have to cross the obstacles and move further. Thank you.